Hi everyone, this is me again, Reynolds, and in this occasion we're gonna review some physics. You know that sometimes I usually make those kind of videos. It's not very often because I have the things that I study. They are kind of how can I say, sort of complicated and kind of weird, I would say. And what I share are things that are common for you to understand, and also things that could be useful for you. For me, the things that are useful for me sometimes maybe are not useful for you, and that's why I don't share those videos. But this one is gonna be very useful for you. Pay attention, please. Today we're gonna study about physics, okay? On physics, I am studying about the linear equations on a motion movement, and the motion movement is also supported by a pendicular movement. The pendicular movement is this, what you see here. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Pendicular. Now, what is the difference of pendicular movement and radiant movement? Well, I'm gonna put it just right down here. A radiant movement goes just like this. This is like a radiant movement. Have you seen, for example, on a on a on a on a ship, those boats, when they are trying to reach certain temperature or something, that is moving on the ocean, that is a movement that occurs on a circle that is radiant, okay? But a pendicular circle is different. A pendicular circle, sorry, is like this. It has the quality that it has a little stretch part over here, because it's like the sensation or the perception when you walk on the earth. When you walk on the earth, you feel like if the earth is not completely circle, right? It is because the radiant of the earth is 3D, right? Same thing happens here. This is, let's say, x, and this is, let's say, y, okay? And this part here is going to be the delta part, okay? Now, this is just the zero space, which is, let's say, the center of the pendicular space. And let's say that we have an object that is moving, but the object is going to move just like this. And the object, let's say, that is just here. This is the object. Now, the object, you don't know, you feel it or no, the object is actually always kind of reflecting this kind of movement. Every time that he moves, he makes the same pendicular motion, but in a magnified way, and in that way he can move. That is even the definition of acceleration. The acceleration goes like this: acceleration is equal to velocity over time. That's why when you accelerate, you feel that the environment becomes kind of tiny, and also the object itself, the control of the object itself, is kind of softer, because the velocity makes the acceleration goes easier, right? I know that you understood everything that I've explained it here. At least if you know the basics of physics and you know about cars, you would understand this. Now, this is the formula that I was studying. This is the formula to work. This is delta on the first stage and delta over time. I mean delta on the first stage over time is equal to work. Now work delta is equal to acceleration by work over velocity. And you would say, where you got that right now? Well, I got it just right from here. Remember that the acceleration is needed to work. You can work if you don't move. It's true that there are people that doesn't need to accelerate necessarily to work, but the acceleration is present because the work can be faster or slower, as well as the velocity is present because the acceleration can increase or decrease. And when that motion of decreasing and decreasing is present, then it means that the acceleration is not only acceleration, it's also velocity itself. Okay, and that is delta work. Now, work on velocity is equal to x plus y, x quadrant or over 2 plus y quadrant divided by work. If you are a physician and you know what I'm talking, you will understand very easy. And even now with this ending formula, look, velocity is equal to work together, right? When they are delta time over acceleration. Because delta time is actually like, let's say you see this formula here, delta time could be just here, sorry, delta time. This completely is similar as saying this. Remember that this composition of a formula is needed for you to understand algebra. That's why when I say that work delta is equal to acceleration by work over time, and also it is equal to delta time, because delta time is equal actually to this, the translation that is made on the on the y-axis and the x-axis and the movement itself. This is delta and over time, but it is usually over the zero pendicular, but the zero pendicular is just an indication of the beginning of it, because at the end here it doesn't mean or doesn't need to be zero exactly, because if you translate this to a formula and you put it on a quadrant, it will be like this. Let's imagine that the object is accelerated, okay? It accelerated. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The tricky part is that the acceleration is not usually on the upside, but on the downside. That's why the acceleration point would be like 4, 1 or something like that on the upside. But if it is an airplane, it's different. And if it is, let's say, even a balloon, you know what is a balloon, right? There are many things, even a motorbike, a lot of things that sometimes can even make this kind of movement on the velocity and acceleration. And this can be represented in a quadrature Cartesian, okay? But having in consideration that the movement is not going to be just like a normal circle, just like this one, no, this one, no, just like this one. You see this one? This is the Earth. This is a normal circle, and this is not exactly the same as this one. This one is a transition here. This is the delta space, and this is the object. This is y, and this is x, and this is the zero space. This is, you see these little lines? This is to indicate the 3D dimension that is supposed to be felt over here on your perception. And this is the movement itself. And this is how could even move, for example, your heart. When your heart is beating, your heart is using acceleration and even velocity. And that's why it moves like this. It doesn't move exactly like this or something like that. Not always. Sometimes your heart can move like this, okay? After having this in mind, I just want to close this video having this closer that I found on the course that I'm taking. This is an error. On the course, they said that the clockwise movement makes you to go downward, but that's a lie. This is a lie. You know why? When you are good using the clock, you actually are good with preserving yourself in a good perception. When it is anti-clockwise, it's upward, they say, but that's a lie also, because actually it's like the Holy Scriptures. It says like this: he who retains quarter loves himself. It says that in the book of Proverbs. Yes, it says that. Okay, now how can I explain that? Well, the movement of the clock is connected, or is supposed to be connected, with the movement of the moon and the sun, and the earth itself. And you see the calendar, you see the day, all those things, 24 hours, four stations of the year, winter, autumn, spring, and the other one which I don't remember right now, but they are 4. And also in the day you have even 4 stages, which is evening, let's say it in order, okay? Morning, afternoon, evening, and night, okay? And in the earth you have exactly the same, but let's say that it is in seconds. And the tricky part is that when you are very good using the clock, you could even go in a certain way or a certain velocity that is yours, that belongs to you. So don't let other person to tell you that you will go downwards when you could actually go forward. Okay? But it's not to take it as an obsession, but it's for you to take care. This is a lie, okay? Always remember, he who retains the quarter, which is a movement in the good way, on the right way, on the correct direction, loves himself, shows loves to himself. That is what he says. Shows love to himself. And that's it. Well, see you in the next time. I hope that this video have been helpful for you. And sorry because of all these things, but I needed to make clear that this is a lie. The movement of the clock and that you are going downward. That's a lie. It's a lie, okay? You just have to learn that Actually, if you can be very organized, that can be actually super beneficial to you. And I don't want you to lose that, because even myself, I like to be very organized. Okay, so see you in the next time, and if you have any question, you can leave it in the comments. Remember that Jesus Christ loved you much more than my board. Bye bye. By the way, I love this study. I usually study this this kind of literature for the Adventist. I am very curious with this kind of things. So see you the next time. Bye bye.